question that forced me to join that, as asking myself, where does a baby come from? Really, where does the baby come from? So I was so inquisitive, and at the same time I had inspirers, my cousin brothers, most of them are
into the science world.
Yeah, they're nurses, doctors. So they used to inspire me. I used to look at them in their uniform. I feel like, oh God, one time I should also be like them.
So you finally got to know where the baby comes from?
Yeah, of course it forced me, and I was like, no.
And you now know
when I joined medical, I was like, I have to go to the midwifery part, because I wanted to know, where does the baby really come from? And when I got to know, as passionately doing my job, I liked it. And midwifery is really nice. When you deliver a baby, the baby cries in the background, you feel energetic.
That's an achievement.
Yeah, it's really an achievement.
But have you experienced such incidences or such cases when at least an equipment, or maybe whatever they use, or maybe the cotton wool itself, have you had complaints of women going through such scenarios that they left such in their womb?
Yeah, so I got to appreciate when I joined the field that really they were not using knives. It was a myth brief. I don't know how I can say it, but it was not knives. There are certain equipments, medical equipments, that they use to do a C-section, but not knives, really. And to be honest, I've never seen anyone where they leave knives in. They're not knives, but maybe, certainly, of course, we're also human beings. I've ever seen a case where a doctor, I think maybe he forgot a gauze, a small piece of gauze in there. So due to that, mother got sepsis because of that small mistake. But of course, they realized it later when she started gaping. When she started gaping, then they took her to
what is gaping?
Gaping,
because
like, okay,
one would be like, you're getting technical.
I'm sorry. So like they've done a C-section, C-section.
Yes.
So after doing that, they again cross. Everything becomes normal, seemed to be normal. So now
and she was discharged at the end of the day?
No, she was still in the hospital, but they started seeing like pus coming out. You get? So now those sutures were not getting, like they're not getting healed. Instead, everything was becoming white. The wound was opening up again.
All right.
Yeah. So like that's how I can.
So they had to do another.
Yeah, they had
operation.
to open again, and they removed that gauze piece. Yeah. And
so she's stabilized at the end of the day.
Yeah. Because if you realize a mistake, and then you collect it, then you can save a life.
So then, did they have to make her go to sleep? Or how do you call it? To put her to sleep to do the operation again?
Yeah, of course.
Because they say that immediately, if you've just gone through that process, it has to take some time for you to be again put to sleep.
Of course, she had to realize that it didn't happen in one day. She had spent like 3 days on the ward. It is a painful procedure. They cannot do it to you when they have not done anesthesia. So they had to do anesthesia, and then they reoperated again, and they removed the gauze. Yeah. Okay.
So one wonders, how easy is it to access the ambulances themselves, the services? Because people still right, maybe in the rural setup, and in the outskirts of Kampala, they tend to think that it's for those the well-to-do families are the ones who can afford to get an ambulance come at their home. That's what they would definitely think. How easy is it to access one? Because I've also had issues, complaints coming through that before you pay the kind of money or amount you've been asked to, it's not going to move. It will not move. You have to first pay. I also experienced it.
Really?
Yes. I will not mention the name of the hospital. So they were like, she has to be rushed and be taken for a CT scan to really check the respiratory system. But the ambulance cannot move from here until you clear the paperwork and pay that kind of amount, you know. So how easy is it to access? You is best at Nagoro.
Okay, it was a private ambulance that they made you pay. Wow. So now this is emergency medical services. We have ambulances. They are from Ministry of Health. They are for free of service, totally free of service. No one can ask you for any coin
Not the fuel, not even the fuel. You have to first look into the fuel bit for the driver.
No, we don't. We don't ask you for any money. The ambulances, they get fuel from the ministry. Yeah, directly from Ministry of Health, they get the fuel. So we don't ask you for any money. The accessibility to the ambulance, we have, as I told you, we have a call center, which is based at Naguru, call and dispatch center. We have numbers. They are not actually, we don't have, so far we don't have a toll-free number, but we have number where you use just little airtime. You just call and you can say, call me back, and they call you again. You can even try to beep them. They call you back. We have tablets where we access WhatsApp messages, texts. If you don't have airtime to call but you have your text, you can send a text and tell them, I have an emergency. You give them location. If they don't get the full details, they call you back and they ask you for what they want. So we have those numbers. They work 24/7. We have qualified staff that work in the call and dispatch center at Naguru. They are ever there 24/7. We have supervisors. In case things don't go well, we escalate to those supervisors. So it is very easy. Anytime you want an ambulance, I'm going to, before I leave the show, I will leave you with the numbers to call. So anytime, whether at night, anytime, you can call them and then just come at where
There's nothing like, you don't sound to be serious. It's not like an emergency and then they will not come to help you?
No.
Everyone will automatically get a positive response.
By the time you feel I should call for an ambulance, that means you need help. And we are here to help community up to the level of the household. Yes. Anyone, if maybe your child has collapsed or your child is not feeling well and you need help to the hospital, just call an ambulance. They call countrywide. It is not only here in Kampala, but all the regions, because we have regional coordinators who help us, maybe from Kabale, Fort Portal. We've picked several patients from Fort Portal. Those ones that need ICU in Kampala. We've picked people from Lida. They have their ambulances, but they may not have, we have different types of ambulances. Have type A, type B, type C. So a type C is a class where it can like transport patients maybe that are critically ill, that need ICU.
So as they transport them, they're having the treatment on board?
Yes, on board, yeah.
So there's that difference. I thought the type A would be the first class.
No.
So it's the type C that turns out to be the first class.
Yeah.
So the type A is just a matter of transportation?
Type A is just first aid, like those people who are able to walk. Yeah, those people who are able to walk. So they're the ones that need a type A ambulance, yeah.
So the type B?
Type B, yeah, we give them some care during the transit. So those ones are able to move with a type B. But so type C, specifically for critically ill, those ones who need ICU, those ones who need to be supplemented with maybe a ventilator during the transport. But type B also, it has oxygen. We give you oxygen, we give you some care during the transit. Yeah.
So your service is accessible to even those in the rural setup? Regards the distance, you're there to help and reach out to the communities?
Everywhere, because ICT has helped us in that we use our Wi-Fi for geographical locations. Whenever you call, and maybe, because we have many Ugandans who don't know how to give locations. They don't know, like you ask them for any landmark, they don't really know. So when you call, we just use our GPS and we track where you are. Or
maybe we need to call upon the Kampala Capital City Authority to make sure it puts the better markings.
The landmarks.
The landmarks for us.
They have tried.
Because you'll be like, now you come, then in the corner you find a big tree. It's a mango tree.
So when you reach there, call us.
Call us. You know, there's no name of the particular street.
Yeah. But we have societies in Uganda under Emergency Medical Services. We have a society called Emergency Care Society of Uganda. It has nurses, it has midwives, it has doctors, it has companies. So that society has helped us to, at least, it has brought trainings to sensitize for people, like to make them at least, if you call, tell them directly what you want. And that one helps, like, your I don't know how to say it, I don't know how I can phrase it, but it helps you immediately. You're shortening time. Because by the time you call explaining now, she has been there, it will
you need to carry a Panadol new, she has a headache and things like that.
So say directly specific things that has happened and tell them where you are so that they can easily hurry up and help you.
Okay, before we delve into more insight,
yes,
we might forget. So it is the number. It is.
I'm going to give it to you. I'll give it to you before.
For the viewer, won't forget.
Yeah.
Make sure you definitely get it.
Okay.
You've been there for 20 years?
No, I joined during COVID time. So as among the frontliners, we dealt with first wave, second wave, maybe third wave. Yeah. So we've handled emergencies during any outbreak. I've managed, we've actually, not me alone, but
as a team. Yeah,
a team. We've managed COVID. At least we tried. Of course, some Ugandans don't appreciate, but at least emergency medical services has really helped a lot.
So Ebola, yeah, I was going to ask, apart from the COVID itself, Ebola, what are some of those other infectious diseases or cases that you encounter on a daily?
Okay, so leaving COVID alone, we've managed Ebola. At least we tried to help during the bomb blast. Of course, ensuring our safety first, working in with forces, SFC, police. So we work hand in hand together and ensure our safety and save Ugandans. We deal with maternal cases actually on a daily basis. Maternal cases. We deal with road traffic accidents. Of course, you've seen Uganda every day we are registering road traffic accident cases. We deal with child, neonatal cases, pediatrics. Yeah, any emergency, any kind of emergency, someone fainting, the collapses, building collapse. Yeah, so every time we are there. Fire, any fire outbreak, you have to be there to save.
Wow, to handle all such emergencies.
Yeah.
And you know, when someone thinks of Naguru, they're like, it's a government facility.
Yes.
Are we able to get all the services that we need and all the attention that one deserves?
Yeah, so now the beauty thing with any qualified, any paramedic who is dealing with any emergency, we prioritize saving a life. So the moment we receive a call, so we have to discuss, actually just on the phone. You receive a call, you get to know the biodata, you get to know the diagnosis, the treatment the patient has been on. So in case that it is interfacility, maybe someone is being referred from Naguru to Mulago, which is a national hospital, so they know that patient is going to benefit from Mulago. Maybe it has an ICU, Naguru doesn't have an ICU. So by the time they refer that patient, they know they're going to benefit from this kind of a hospital. The same thing to us, community care responders. If they call you, there's an accident, it has happened maybe Masaka Road, you've reached there, so after reaching at Masaka Road, you assess the scene, you enter the scene, you give your first aid, and then you're going to prioritize. We have different categories of patients. Patient who is red, green, and maybe yellow. So the red ones are critically ill. So I'm not going to bring a patient who is in red to maybe Chisenyi Health Center or Kawala. Definitely I'm going to rush that patient to ICU, a hospital which is having an ICU. That is Mulago, maybe Entebbe, maybe Chiludu. So we have to prioritize which hospital this patient is going to benefit from. Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing like, since it's Naguru, you have to Kintu kidogo,
no,
like things like that. Because that's the mentality a few have.
Okay, everything that we are doing, it is a free service. Emergency medical service is really a free service. The trainings they do, we don't ask you for money. Come and train. After training, we're going to give you a certificate and pay money. No, everything is a free service. Ambulances are free. whether you call me and to maybe at midnight I come and save your life, I'm not going to ask you for any money. So everything is free of service. Yeah.
How has it been like for you?
It is really nice.
You as a person and you taking that path of sciences and ICT itself.
I personally, when I joined EMS, as women, actually, if I'm to tell you, we have very many women in EMS who have inspired me as a person. I had never seen an emergency physician before, but when I joined EMS, the first emergency physician to meet or to know, she was a female. So since then, I got to know there are very many societies in there. The society that I've told you, the Emergency Care Society Uganda, it is actually, it started, the first president was a male. Since then, we have been having presidents who are females. So it is so inspiring. Up to date, the current president of ECSU is a female. So it is really inspiring to me as a woman. And to another aspect, when I save a life, Sandra, to be honest, if I save your life, and maybe I found when you are critically ill, especially to the road traffic accidents, I found when you're unable to talk, you don't know what is taking place, but by the time I leave the scene, at least you know. By the time we reach the hospital, you know we are now maybe somewhere, you start asking me, where am I? I feel better, I feel good, I'm like, oh God. So that one gives me energy to love my job, to do more, and feel like I should really all the time save a life. Even when I'm eating my lunch and you call me, please, we have an emergency right now, I cannot hesitate to come. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. I'm sure you've inspired someone out there, and we're still having the conversation going. Maybe for someone out there who is trying to choose on a particular path they should take when it comes to their professions, why would they go for what Janice did?
Okay.
Be a paramedic.
Yes. So it's all about passion, and I wouldn't wish anyone to be forced into this, because usually when they force you, you cannot do something perfect.
Yeah, it would be like it's the end thing. You get quick money.
Your dad is like, it's a must.
It is what I did. You also have to study the same.
You have to go in ahead. I don't think it works out. But it's all about being, of course, having, I can maybe call them motivational speakers, I don't know, but people to inspire you in the field. And then out of that, you feel like you should come. But our goal in EMS, first of all, is to at least strengthen EMS in Uganda. How do we do that? By making all the responders be having that capacity and skills to respond to any kind of emergency, any disaster. So through that, if we saved people during Kasese floods, and someone is there seeing that, really they're putting it on news, they're seeing floods, people are being washed away, homes, what, and you're seeing Janice is really doing this, saving a life. Really, you see, it is encouraging you to do what? To come and join. You've seen massive casualties, road traffic accidents, and I've saved a life. Maybe I've saved your dad, I've saved your mom. So you feel you really need to join. Yeah.
Well, with the experience you have and the time you've been there, because by the time you joined, it was really tough, I should say.
Yeah.
And putting in mind that government itself respects and also honors the role that emergency medical services has made Uganda achieve, or maybe save so many lives out there. With the policies put in place and everything that you have at hand to carry on with your duty, would you say at least we're doing good?
Yeah, definitely. I have to let Ugandans know that emergency medical services, it has not started today. It started long time ago, but we had not recognized it till 2020, when the when the parliament and the cabinet, they recognized the policy, emergency medical services. The policy was recognized in 2020. So right now, actually they recognize the strategic plan of emergency medical services. Surely we've made a step. I can say emergency medical services, till the time when the Ugandans started recognizing it, it is still a baby. Other developed countries, emergency medical services has reached for everyone recognizes it. But Ugandans haven't yet recognized emergency medical services. It is still a young baby being nurtured.
Are they like still holding on to the old way, the old systems they used to use in the rural setup?
Not really, because
for the emergencies, like how they used to carry on, and
right now they have started appreciating. Some Ugandans do appreciate it. They appreciate the services we are doing. And how did they start appreciate? During those the outbreaks. Most of the people started recognizing the use of an ambulance during the COVID time. When the Ebola came in, they started recognizing it. Any outbreak that comes in, when the floods came in, they started recognizing it. But of course, when we were to go to like the structure where the other side, it has been recognized. It is really a big step that emergency medical services has. So far, we are doing well. Yeah, it is being recognized, because the other time we saw the president launching the bot ambulances. So it is really being recognized. I think with time, we're going to have maybe emergency choppers, I may say, because we so far have anything to do with land, that is land cruisers that we have. The other time we saw the Rotary, they brought us some motorcycles for emergencies. So we have the bot ambulances. So surely everything is moving on well, I may say. So Ugandans with time, they're going to start appreciating what emergency medical services is. Through sensitization, of course, it has been done by APO, the Ambulance Association of Uganda. So really, they're doing a great job. We have very many societies that are sensitizing, that are training first aiders to a household capacity. So with time, within a few years to come, you are going to see like every Ugandan is able to give first aid. Every Ugandan will be able to save a life. Yeah, within just 5 minutes of any incident or any accident that will happen, if you're there, Sandra, maybe I've collapsed from here, you'll be having a hint through those trainings. If they come and train you how to give first aid, what should you do within those first minutes, ABCD approach, because that's the uniform song. When we are responding, every emergency responder has to sing. We speak the same language while responding to emergencies. So through the sensitizations, through the trainings, every Ugandan is going to appreciate that. And you'll be able to save your own life. You'll be able to save someone else. Yeah.
So that particular bit of the training, you're taking it down to the household level?
Yes, to the community. So far we haven't reached at the household level, but we have community-based trainings.
And then what is the reaction from the Ugandans?
Definitely people are appreciating it. They've been getting a lot of emergencies. At home, people get emergencies, snake bites, dog bites, maybe burns. Every time someone is cooking, they get burnt with water, anything. It's
not like the way it used to be, you have to wait and see it in the exams.
No,
or maybe
no.
in someone's homework.
No, not really. No,
it has gone away from that bit.
Yeah, yeah. So people are starting to appreciate, and when they bring the trainings to them, they really welcome it, and they appreciate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, apart from traffic and other things that you've earlier on shared relating to the challenges that you've encountered, what are some of those other challenges that do disturb you on a daily, apart from the traffic itself? Is it like, do you get, at the end of the day, it's like a burden? Because with the COVID itself, it was really hectic.
Yes.
It was a crisis itself. Take us through some of the challenges.
Of course, challenges, we have a lot of challenges. One, as I told you, we have a call and dispatch center. So we have Ugandans who want to make prank calls all the time. They give you a prank call, it's at midnight, they tell you, now there's an emergency here at maybe Nakawa, rush, it is midnight. So of course you have to respond to the calls. I will not know that it is a prank call until I reach there. So you set off, you drive, maybe through that jam, maybe you're using the fuel, reaching there, you try to trace, maybe you try to call the number again, it's not there. Yeah. Or sometimes they tell you, no, after reaching there, they tell you, no, we are trying to see if you can respond or not. Wanted to see if that, yeah. So those are prank calls that we usually receive.
And they will still be there and explain to you that?
They just call, someone can just stand in there, they're seeing you, eh?
And
so
they
see
want
the
to know
ambulance.
it's real.
Yeah. So after seeing the ambulance. Because
they're used to watching it in the movies, eh?
Yes, yes. So they want to see, does it really work? Because we've made at least posters with those numbers that I'm going to share with you to sensitize to people. They should always call. Yeah, they should always call for their emergency. So that is the first challenge that we get, the prank calls all the time. But of course we are wasting resources, wasting time as well. Instead of saving someone's life outside there, you're going for a prank call. Yeah, so that is number one. Another thing, Ugandans are not really cooperative. Ugandans are not cooperative. Because if they call you and they're like, maybe you have an emergency and it's saying there's a building collapse, maybe there's this, so you're rushing to save a life, but for them they will see you maybe turning on your siren, they will think you're just avoiding jam. They will not even give you that way. So a lot of challenges that we have. Another thing, as women, of course, you reach somewhere, people are, now this woman here, would you even be able to carry this patient on a stretcher or this? So a lot of challenges that we face, but of course we go through them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it is your passion to do something, I'm not going to reach there and you tell me, would you even be able to deliver me? And then I run away. No, if I'm skilled enough, I know what I'm doing, of course, I'll stick to that point and do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those are the challenges, and now you see our job is more of lifting these critically ill patients. You're using a stretcher, so I have to carry you, whether you're 100 kgs. I'm not going to say, you're not going to call me, so when I reach there and then I find maybe you're big, I find maybe you're 100 kgs, I run away. No.
And then the ones in the neighborhood are just looking?
Yeah, of course, depending on which condition, like now like during Ebola time, that was a highly infectious disease. You're not going to expose patients. Their safety first. We consider the safety, my safety.
And you can't even ask for help from the neighborhood.
The safety, unless if I provide to them the what to use. Yeah, they can ask for help. Then I give them the PPEs, personal protective equipment. So after wearing, then I can ask them to help me. But it is not professional, but you have to do it. But we used to go maybe like two people to respond, 3, depending. Yeah, because it needs lifting and you cannot do it alone. Yeah, and you have to ensure your safety first.
Can we say that at the end of the day you're in perfect shoes after taking that particular path? We can't even ask what would you have done apart from being in that path of being a paramedic person? Your focus was sciences and ICT.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Being inspired by my brothers and being inquisitive to know what is really there. And after joining, I really appreciate it. Yeah, because whenever they could be having a procedure in the theater, could be like, oh doctor, can I come with you? Because I just wanted to learn more and see really what do they do, and it was really nice. It's really amazing.
Fulfilling.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Saving a life is amazing.
Okay, maybe just sharing with a parent out there who really wants their children to take this path. They're trying to figure it out which kind of profession they should choose. What advice would you tell them?
Yes, so we have a new course which is emergency medical technology. That is to do more with emergencies like what we do. And in Uganda, it is currently at Lubaga School of Nursing. Other schools, they haven't taken it up. So any parent, any Ugandan outside there who is having maybe a child, they need them to go in medical. But of course you have to discuss with them They have to decide.
Not to force them.
Yeah, I shouldn't force them, but you discuss with them.
Because it's the end thing.
Yeah, you tell them, maybe, my girl, aren't you, I don't have any doctor in the family, please stand with us and be there to save. Yeah, in case anyone is sick, please, we're going to help us. So you have to, anyone with any medical background, if you are a nurse, if you are a midwife, and you feel maybe you want to upgrade, you can go in Urubaga, and then you do the course. There are very many advantages there. We have, Malteser International has been bringing in trainees, the trainers from Germany. They bring other new courses, international trauma life support, advanced life support, a lot of things. So you can go to up to level of being maybe an emergency physician by doing this course. We have very many emergency physicians in Uganda, and we are learning a lot from them. They inspire us. Yeah, so we have, you can go up to the category of advanced emergency care. We have critical care, emergency providers, so any level that you want. Yeah, they can go for it.
Are there moments that you were like overwhelmed because with the cases, the previous cases, speaking about the previous 2 years, the COVID itself, then we had the Ebola outbreak, and then the building collapsing. There have been like certain cases. I've been through the Easter season and we've also registered cases of accidents.
Yeah.
Is there a point that you people are overwhelmed, especially at the station in Naguru?
Yeah, definitely. During COVID time, everything was really, because we couldn't sleep, we could work day and night. Yeah, day and night, especially during second wave. We used to work day and night all the time. You find you have to, because you remember actually during the lockdown, we used to work a lot. During Ebola, we used to work a lot, because we lack, actually among the challenges, we are lacking skilled emergency care providers. Other people fear to go in an ambulance. Yeah, so we get overwhelmed by work because of we are lacking manpower, to be honest. Yeah, we're lacking manpower. Even accidents, you find maybe you are like, how many, like you're like, because at Naguru we are currently around 20 people responding to cases of Kampala. So it is really, and not only Kampala, Wakiso, Mukono, Jinja. So it is really work overload, but we manage. You find you have to work day and night. Easter time, I didn't see Easter as on duty from Saturday up to Monday. So, but it is passion. You have to save a life, because you know we've so far during Easter we registered something like 37, was it 37 road traffic accidents? So, and who helps them? It's us. You have to be there all the time, because we're on standby during Easter time. You know, festive seasons, you're expecting a lot of traffic accidents. You're expecting more of emergencies. Yeah. Yeah, people are going to get drunk. They fight. It's an emergency. You have to be there. People are just driving the way they want, and you have to be there to save them. So you have to be on standby. So it is kind of, you're eating lunch and they call you, no, first stop eating. Now there's an emergency here. You have to rush and go and save a life. You're not going to say, no, I'm eating, let me first finish my food. No.
I'm going to get ulcers.
No, you have to rush in and save a life. Because you never know, maybe this is your relative and you don't know. Yeah, so we don't have anything to do, maybe to say, no, I will not go, I don't know that person. No. All our patients.
That place is far, maybe the roads are bad, how shall we get there? Then you have such things holding you back. No, if you feel maybe your safety is, if you feel you're not secure enough, I told you at first we work hand in hand with police, forces, SFC, UPDF. So if you feel maybe things like during the bomb blast, of course we are scared. We could not assess the scene first before the forces. So at that time you have to coordinate with the forces, and then they go first. After securing the scene, then you enter in. If it is a fire outbreak, you have to first deal with the fire brigade. They secure the scene, and then you go in first. Then you go in, yeah, and save their life. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe just briefly letting us know more to do with the development strategic process that is yet to be rolled out. Earlier on you talked about the support from Ministry of Health and the policies enacted by Parliament, and the President also coming in to launch various equipments to help you out.
Yeah.
Do you think all that will also be phased out, or at least there will be assistance from government itself to ease your work and make your profession a better place to be?
Yeah, on the policy, as I told you, it was approved. So that one itself has made us steps ahead. We are now, things are moving forward. Before, like, we used to have few ambulances, but now the government has really helped us a lot. We have very many ambulances. Of course, we cannot distribute them here in Kampala alone. We have different regions. We have Rwenzori, Kilimanjaro region, we have Lira side, we have Kabale, we have Rukunjiri. So all those regions need ambulances. But now, the government has really helped us a lot by employing other regional coordinators that help us coordinate those emergencies from those regions. Not only that, training people. So that is strengthening their capacity to handle any emergency that comes in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it has really done a lot to us. And not only that, at that time, you know, people never, like, we used to wear any scrub. But at least government has recognized us. It gave us a uniform. That time we launched a uniform, emergency care responders uniform at the Ministry of Health. So at least now we are being recognized everywhere we go, that if I come with my uniform, I'm going to be different from maybe the police officer. I'm going to be different from anyone who is in the community. I'll be really different to give my care. Yeah, so it has really done a lot. Yeah, by at least sensitizing, provide, of course it supports by facilitating those people who train to the first aiders, to up to the house. I've told you, we have to go up to the household. So far we are still in community, but it has to go to the household to an extent that everyone will be able to give at least first aid to their own people.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you see someone collapsing, you're not going to run away. No, you'll be able to know what should I do first.
Okay. Well, many people access your services,
yes.
Lira, Hoima, Gulu, and everywhere.
Countrywide.
Countrywide.
Yeah.
I should maybe just letting the viewer get to know where most cases come through, which districts. Is it Kampala that is really overwhelming you? Where in particular would you mention? Now,
for us, since I'm working in Kampala, of course we are doing with the Kampala Metropolitan, but I cannot say that Kampala will get more cases than Lila, than Gulu, because I've told you we have regional coordinators, we have regional referrals, like you see Mbala regional referral, we have Kabale regional referral, Lila regional referral. So now those referrals that are in the region, the emergencies, they are being handled at the regional level. So if things don't work out, or if they need a national assistance, maybe to be brought in the national hospital,
that's when you come in.
We come in. Yeah, because if we are to say that every emergency that is from those maybe villages, we bring them to Kampala, Mulago will be full. Okay. We shall not get where to put them. So we prioritize and strengthen their capacity at the level of every hospital. At least we have emergency responders who are skilled enough, who are able to respond to any kind of emergency. So by the time maybe they say, no, right now we need to be, maybe to transport this patient to Mulago, just know things have gone out of hand. Yeah.
Well, you're a midwife yourself, yes. And earlier on you shared the experience of the C-section, the lady of the cesarean. What are some of those cases that come through that really need attention, that one ends up calling for ambulance services when it comes to the mothers that you receive, the clients who are mothers?
Okay. So we receive referrals. Actually, if I can start with the interfacility. Interfacility means referring maybe from this hospital, because we have a national women referral, that is Kawempe. So most of the cases we get, they're from maybe those hospitals, okay, the health centers. Yeah, we get cord prolapse. Yeah, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be going in those terms. Yeah, but you asked me to tell you the cases. Okay. So we get cord prolapse, we get placenta abrupture, like PPH, like postpartum hemorrhage, antepartum hemorrhage, like the bleeding, if the mother starts bleeding when she's pregnant. And they need...
Before even the labor pains come?
Yeah, that is antepartum. Then the postpartum hemorrhage, that is the bleeding that comes after giving birth. Yeah, so it can maybe fail to be controlled because the placenta has failed to come out completely, or the part of the placenta has come out, the other part has stayed in, so the mother keeps on bleeding and they need to be transfused with blood. And maybe you find at the facility where that mother is, they don't have blood, so they need to be transported to maybe to Kawempe. So those are the cases we work on. Maybe a mother has gotten a premature labor, like they've given birth to prematures, you know, premature?
Yes.
Yeah, so they've given birth to prematures, and those prematures need care. Yeah, they need intensive care. So you find where they've given birth from, they don't have those machines, they don't have the warmers, especially the health centers like Tisenyi, like Kawala, they may not be having that capacity to hold those babies. So we have to take them to where they should be cared for, that is Kawempe. So we get a lot of, not only that, but of course mothers also get other cases. They also get hypertension, they also get diabetes. So a lot of cases that we get, because they also can be going to Churudu for dialysis, a lot of things. Yeah.
Well, where you stand at, would you really appreciate what Uganda has in store when it comes to the emergency care system itself?
Yeah, definitely there's a big change. Anciently, you remember people used to, like traditional, they used to use those stretchers, I don't know how they used to call them. In Olunyankole we call them engozi. You get a stick here, another stick, they make that car stretcher. So that's how they used to carry their patients. But right now, at least Emergency Medical Services has done a lot. We have any kind of a stretcher. If we suspect someone is having a spinal injury, you have a certain stretcher you're going to use. That's why I was telling you we need people who are skilled enough, people who have that capacity to identify this is a critical ill patient, you know, this one needs this hospital, like that. So another thing is at least Ugandans have appreciated on the time of response. At least we've improved on the time of response. When we had just started, you could call an ambulance and maybe it could take like 2 hours before it gets to your doorway. But at least people have started to appreciate you call for an ambulance within maybe the next 5 to 10 minutes. They're at your doorway, depending where you are. Because if you call me and maybe I know there is an ambulance next to you, like there's an ambulance in Kasangati, it is there, but you're not aware that it is there, or maybe they have asked you for money. So if you call, I'm not going to now come from Naguru to go to Kasangati. It will take a lot of time, but there's an ambulance there, and it is also for Ministry of Health. So we coordinate because we have their numbers. The regional coordinators have their numbers, all the numbers of the ambulances in Uganda. So they call and coordinate, and then they dispatch that ambulance. Within 5 minutes, it's on your doorway, which is free of charge. So the response time, really, it has improved a lot. We are not yet there, I may say, like other developed countries, but at least we are trying to make it. So the government is bringing more ambulances. So if they bring those ambulances, honestly speaking, I think they'll be posted in those areas, like maybe, you know, Masaka-Mbara Highway, it usually gets accidents. So you make sure the ambulance is there all the time. So you can spy for those places where we usually get emergencies and put the ambulances to at least to improve on the response time.
Well, as you speak about areas, one will also start asking, do they have one in Fort Portal, in Ibanda? Do you have one on such roads?
The ambulance?
Yes.
So far, we haven't gotten that number of ambulances to put alongside the roads.
So Ibanda does not have?
No, we have in the hospitals.
In the hospitals,
yeah,
and the
because,
referrals in Ibanda?
Fort Portal Regional Referral, it has an ambulance. Yeah. At least every regional referral, district hospitals, actually health centers, they also have ambulances. Yeah, they have ambulances. And we work hand in hand with KCCA. KCCA has ambulances. We have Red Cross, they have ambulances. So if you call, and maybe I know Red Cross people are near to that place, they're in Lubaga side, then immediately I will dispatch the KCCA. I tell them we have this case and this case, please help us transport. And they will run so that at least you're minimizing on spending a lot of time, which may maybe worsen the condition of the patient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, before we let you go, it's just a few minutes to the top of the hour, 11 a.m. Just getting to know more of you, more of Janice as a paramedic and midwife at the emergency unit in the services that you offer in Guru before we let you go.
Okay, Sandra, thank you so much.
Because one is like, the moment I visit that health facility, I want to see her. Yes. Anyway, tell us more about what you offer, the services right there at the Naguru Best Station before we let you go.
Yeah, as I told you.
And also not forgetting to share the numbers as well.
Yes, I'm going to share with you. I'm a paramedic with a background of midwifery. I've been trained for like international trauma life support, so I'm able to care for any case of trauma, not only trauma, advanced life support, advanced cardiac life support. So we get all those trainings and we get skilled at least to provide all the care. So I'm speaking as Janice. I've had those trainings. At least I'm able to use most of the equipments in the Type C ambulance. Type C ambulance has a lot of equipments to use. That is a defibrillator, monitors, ventilators. So speaking on my level, at least through the trainings I've done, through the courses I've done, at least I'm able to use those equipments and I'm able to save a life. So at least I know if I reach at the scene, ensuring my safety first, I can save, not even saving, but at least I can do something that maybe will save someone's limb, maybe someone's life within the 5 minutes. Yeah, at least within the golden hour, I'm able to do something.
You'll be able to fulfill at least that there will not be permanent disability and death for that matter.
Yeah, so I'm not me alone, but at least for the team we are working with, it is well skilled. Yeah. So I think I'll share with you the numbers. Okay, then I'm sure the viewer is so eager. They really want to get to know those particular numbers. Yeah, wait. Well, for those of you who are watching, thank you so much for your time. Janice is going to share briefly the numbers, and our guest for the day, that is Janice Asimwe. She's a paramedic and a midwife at the emergency medical center that is based in Naguru Ambulance Station. She has really shared a lot to do with what emergency services are all about and the importance, and you also playing your part. They're holding trainings, creating awareness in the communities, so when they come at your doorstep, when they get that moment of the household level, please welcome them, embrace them. Let's forget the myth and the traditions, but also embrace the services they're putting at hand, and of course saluting government itself for the policy that has been put in place and appreciating the services they offer. And to you who is trying to find the kind of profession you should go for, I'm sure Janice has really inspired you, and the parent out there trying to figure it out for your child on why they should be taking this particular path. I'm sure you have the answers right. Well, Janice. 03. That is a 03. 133. 0311. No, it is 03. 03. 133. 133. 13. 600. 600. Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime you call it 24/7, it's always on.
Not to just pull a prank, but at least to be serious.
Yeah, yeah. You can still make a prank call to confirm if it works or not.
If it works, and then you drive to the location.
Yeah. Next time we shall at least save a life. Yeah, we need Ugandans to appreciate that it really works, that the system really works, and it does. So you can make a
call
prank.
them in the morning and they're here in the afternoon.
No, not really. Yeah.
Well, maybe is there something you would love to share before?
No, thank you so much, Sandra, for hosting me. No, thank you so much.
You've done us justice. It's been a good discussion.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. I'm sure they're really waiting for you to go and handle those emergencies.
Yeah, and save a life.
I hope you've had the breakfast.
Yeah, I had.
Well, that's all we had time for this particular episode. This is the 13th day of April 2023. And just a brief again for the numbers, for those of you who could have missed out. That is 03133 13600. But also you can come and pay us a visit at the National Broadcaster and we'll give you those particular details. It's been a great week having your company from Monday, Easter Monday, having your company all through the week till today, Thursday. Well, tomorrow we shall definitely miss you, but you'll also be joining up the other team to give you more to do with the Pan-African Friday. Looking forward to having your company. That is next week sometime from Monday, and same place we shall be at Inspire as we continue to celebrate the women in ICT. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Janisa Simba has been a guest for the day, a great inspiration to us. It's all about inspiration at the National Broadcaster. Well, from the entire team behind the scene, enjoy your Thursday and stay safe. God bless you.